Hello and welcome to the Build with Baer workshop. My name is Pat Baer. I got a big leg here that is completed, and we got to build the other leg, which we will on this stream. I've already done some of it. I did some of it on Saturday, and then we're going to continue. I want to say hi to everybody who's already in the chat. We're going to wait a few more minutes, see if a few more folks want to join us, because y'all trickle in now and again. I want to thank Road for donating. You donated 100 bits. Thank you so much for that. I know you can't hang out, but I want to thank you very much for that. Hello to Brown Lantern. I'll answer that question in a moment. Throw the Bear Cave emote in the chat or the Lego emote if you are a subscriber. Let the people know. Ultron's here throwing in the Bear Cave emote even before I asked, and the Lego emote, of course. Brown Lantern's here. Brown Lantern's been going rad. I want to show you. We've done a head here where the helmet pops up and a little bit of the neck. We've done two hands. They look real good. I guess I should do these. Two hands and arms and shoulders. They look great. And one big old leg that also, boom, rocket boosters and access to the rocket boosters. Heck yeah. And the way it slides in and out is very, very cool. Lots of joints, lots of pistons. It's very good. Brown Lantern, this kit is rad. I mean, it's nerve-wracking a little bit because of the screws and various other things. The one thing we didn't do is we didn't do an LED. Now, you could put an LED or a little bit bulb in the eye that moves around, but I chose not to do that because running wires through all of that to here is just a nightmare. And maybe I could do it someday, but no thanks. And then I'm going to let Ultron know, because Ultron, I'm sure you want to know. I found the piece that I dropped and couldn't find for like 2 streams. It's right here now. Now both of them have this little piece. It wasn't like a deal breaker. It was something that was important to have. It's just a little piston action. But now it's there, and it makes everything better, and I'm happy we have that on both hands now. That's very good. This is a little loose on this side. I don't know why, but it is a little loose, but hopefully with the shield or the shoulder pad, whichever one goes there, it'll be good. Yeah, I'm glad I found it too. We are going to start building soon. I do want to remind people, if you are a subscriber, 2 things. 1, if you use Twitch Prime, you got to manually renew it. It doesn't auto-renew, so renew if your time is up. Bald Red says, Pat, Eagle Eyes Bear. I mean, I didn't look too hard, and then eventually I was like, I think it's probably over here. Oh, it's right here. I could have found it days before I did. The other thing is, and I'll say this a couple times, the monthly bonus gaming stream is this Wednesday at 9 p.m. Eastern Time. If you want to play Jackbox with me, we're only going to play Jackbox, no games beforehand. It'll just be like, wait for people to come in the chat, kind of converse, and then get into it and do it. Lashbrook, just subscribe with Twitch Prime. That's 19 months. That's on a 19th month streak. Using your Twitch coin for me. Thank you so much for that. We're going to flood right now, everybody. Let's put that Bear Cave emote in there. Let's put the Lego emote. I'll put the scythe in there and say thank you, Lashbrook, for that. 19 months is incredible. I appreciate it very much. I know sometimes I get a little robotic with the things I want to say. But I am genuinely so thrilled that folks want to support me in this endeavor. It means a lot to me. So, thank you all very much for that. I do genuinely appreciate it. So, Monday is often kind of a light night. I'm not expecting a huge turnout. We'll see if a few more folks want to join us. See if we can get up to 8 or 10 folks before we get to building. We're going to do the other leg. We got a big old leg here, a big foot. And yes, I did send a photo of this to Danica because it was important that she saw it. Brown Lantern says, super excited for Mortal Kombat tonight. Big feetsies indeed, Brown Lantern. Yep, big old feet. Yeah, I'm happy for video games and for people that like video games. For folks that are going to play Dragon's Dogma on the Switch, either for the first time or revisiting a game they played before. I'm excited for Mortal Kombat friends. There's a lot out there in gaming. I will be buying neither of those. I do not own a Switch, and I do not play fighting games generally. Dragon Ball Fighter Z is the last fighting game that I purchased. And I bought that mainly because I have a lot of Dragon Ball love and nostalgia, and I had friends who were interested in playing that. So I got it so we could all play together. And we did. And it was good. But since then, no fighting game has. I don't think I've played a fighting game, let alone bought one. Because they're not my jam. But if they're your jam, hell yeah. Enjoy it. Alright, let's get to building. Dragon's Dogma is one of the all-time great RPGs. I enjoy it a lot. I played it and liked it. I have not played it in a long time. Didn't get the PC version. I should at some point when I have disposable income again, which I currently do not. Anyway, let's get to building. I got to adjust this. First things first. Adjust. Adjust. Yeah, we did it. We did it. No. Okay, good. Got a new set of Magic coming out Thursday. Ooh, gonna stream some pack Kraken and deck building Saturday. Always exciting for a new set. Bald Ridge, I feel the same way. As you know, I got their new Hearthstone cards, new expansion of Hearthstone. Feels like the same thing. Digital Kraken isn't the same as physical Kraken, but it still feels great to be able to grab a thing that you want to build, or just open up a pack and see what's inside. I totally understand that feeling. It is great. All right, so this goes like this. We are building our leg here, so we're working on various components. We got our shoulder, like our top of the leg here, not shoulder. I don't know why I said that. Looking to picking up one of the new Planeswalker decks. And Baldridge says, still releases the dopamine. Yeah, that shit is just great. It's just good when a new pack, new game, new expansion, all those things. Those are all rad. Where does this go? So that goes under like this. And this goes... Yes, that's right. It does go like that. Doesn't look like it should go here, but that's because it bends up. Oops. And then this gets weird. I mean, I've already done this all before, so it's like, yeah, you know. It's like one of those things where, like, this is very, like, yep, this goes here, and that goes like that, and then it just does the thing it's supposed to do. And you just put them together because you've done this already. Alright, and then this goes like this. Bends up, and then I have to try to feed this in where it's supposed to go so that it and not have anything pop out. That's the problem. This thing sometimes likes to fall out of it where it needs to be. So we'll just do this. Great. Did it. And then it bends up like that. Hooray, we did it. Okay. So this is going to go. We do have some screws coming up, so we're going to have to do some screwing. Let's get S9. I know that sounded dirty. Wasn't supposed to. Oops. And this one. Yeah. That is S9. Great. Put it right there. So that's going to go into this, which goes... Wait. That's wrong. Uh-oh. That's not good. Did I snip one out by mistake and I have an extra somewhere? So I know this is something's up because this piece has like a middle. You can see it's not just like two prongs. Like that's two prongs on one side and the other side is not. So it's supposed to slide right in. And the thing it's supposed to slide right into doesn't seem like isn't the right piece. So I don't know what I did wrong there. But that looks right. Yeah, because that's what goes up in here. So it's not that one that's wrong. And this isn't wrong. It means that one of these pieces here I may have put on my other leg. I may have put the wrong piece on somewhere. And not the easiest thing in the world to find out if I did it wrong. I think the first thing to do. So I'm going to have to do some disassembly here, which is part of it. You know, I don't love this. I don't love that this is what we're doing right now, but that's why we have tools, and that's why I would say don't do what I do, which is build model kits on stream. I would say that a lot of the things that I run into, a lot of the issues I run into in my streaming come from the fact that I am doing this. Okay, so we know that piece is right. So this is the other knee. That's the piece that we have the wrong, or that it's right. So we know that this is right on this side, and there might be one that is wrong, and then we have to swap these out. But yeah, I would recommend. Hello, Lord Crashington. Brown Lantern, don't frown. Don't you dare be sour. It's part of the process. But I would say, like, yeah, in general, like, I recommend folks not do what I do, which is build model kits on stream. Here it is. Okay, so I believe this is the piece. So this shouldn't be too hard to move and replace. I have to look at it. I have to take off all of these pieces here, and then I have to kind of bend the knee to the point where I can get at this. This is not going to be easy to remove, unfortunately. Yep, this is the piece. So I put the wrong one on the top. That's exactly what happened. I just put the wrong piece on. So I have to take this and replace it with this, because this is the piece I need. It shouldn't be the hardest thing in the world to do, because luckily it is accessible. It is annoying. I am annoyed with myself. I'm going to adjust this here. I'm annoyed that I did this, but it happens. Okay. All right, so I need to get and pop this open. We're going to take this out. This is this legs piece here. These are all here. This is the piece we need, so we'll put that there. Yes. It totally happens. It's part of it. It's not great. All right, so I got to remove a screw on this side, and that should make it easier to disassemble. All right, so we'll do this. I'm going to try to push all the other pieces that are from my other leg aside here, except the pieces that I need. All right, so that I know where things go back. And then this pops off on this side. Kind of wedge this off. And I'm being as careful as I can. So a professor from my school tried to burn down St. Patrick Cathedral over the weekend. What the fuck, Brown Lantern? Holy shit. That's quite the piece of information to just drop into chat. Dang. Dang, my friend. Yeah, more information would be good. Was this malicious? This was accidental? This was... Wow. Okay, so this is apart now. Our leg is apart. We now have easier access to opening this piece up here. We need to separate these two pieces, which should not be too hard at this stage. We are using our wedge here. It's got kind of a, like you can see in the top screen there, it's got a little bit of it's two different kinds of wedges here. And we are just going to carefully attempt to separate these pieces here. Great, we did it. We're taking the piece off that we need for our other thing. We are putting this piece on here. We're going to reassemble properly. Take our time, be nice and easy. This could have been so much worse than it ended up being. I'm glad I caught it early enough. It's not great that this happened, but it's not obviously the end of the world by any stretch. I think the biggest issue is that, okay, yeah, I couldn't find the screw for a second, and that was not a great fact. Brown Lynch says he claimed he needed gas for his car or something and was cutting through the church with gas cans. That's not, look, even if you don't think you're going to get caught doing something unbelievable like that, you got to have a good story. Even if you're like, there's no way I'm getting caught for this, you still need to, like, think of a thing to say if people are like, hey, what the fuck? Holy shit. Sorry, officer, I didn't know I couldn't do that. Yeah. Oh, wait, are these gas canisters? Oh, shit, that's dangerous. Oh, man. I fucked up. I didn't know these were gas canisters. Like, you need something. You gotta have something. You gotta play dumb, but you gotta play dumb smart, if that makes any sense. I think it does. All right, so we're rebuilding our leg here. We're going to assemble some armor back on it, and then we'll move on. This was a nice detour, but hey, this was a teachable moment. It is totally possible to do stuff like this. Like, don't think that if you mess something up, that it's over. That, like, oh well, that's it, that's done. I fucked this up. I can't do anything about it. You know, you're building these to come together, but that's not saying that it's a one and done deal. Like, you can make repairs, you can do changes to things, you can work on stuff like this. It's totally possible. Pat with the crime tips. Yeah. I mean, for minor altercations, not like this. I don't know if I have proper crime tips for something on this scale, but dang. There was lighter fluid too. No, you don't carry gas canisters around with lighter fluid unless you are looking to do something bad. That is bad intentions all the way. All right, so now I'm just trying to figure out this armor and where it goes in relation to everything else, because I don't remember. That's the one part of this right now, is I don't remember where all this goes. Oh, there it goes. That goes like that. And then this is going to go like this. And this goes back here. And then this goes here. Great. And then all I have to do is put this back in. Bada boom. Nope. Bada bing. Bada boom. We did it. And there you go. Repaired. And then we have the piece that we needed. I'm glad we caught this when we did, before I had to really start building up this part. But yeah, this part now will slide in here, and we got the right piece. That goes to show something very simple that looks like it was just going to be whatever turned out to be something I really had to take apart and really be careful with. And that's good. It's a good lesson there. And I'm glad I was able to do that in a way that didn't totally fuck everything up, because that also was a possibility where I could have just made things really bad by trying to fix it. I just let him have a limp for the rest of his life. Well, Lord Crashington, that is a way to go. That's not the way we went with it. But Lord, I do understand what you mean. We could have just not done it. Well, like the piece that I couldn't find that I dropped from the arm wasn't make or break, but you know, if I wasn't going to replace it by buying a piece online of it if I couldn't find it. So, I mean, honestly, you can't see it, the piece that we had to replace here goes here. It's cool looking though, so I do want it to be there. I want it to work. So, when it's cool, I definitely want to go for it. All right, we're going to get P50 out here just because I'm in that spot. So I might as well get P50 ready to go. Just because it's almost time for it. All right, so we'll put that there just for now. Put that there for now. We are going to need a screw, so I have to find the right screw for this. Okay, put that there. Oh yeah, I'm going to move this completed leg out of the way because it is so big and in the way. I am going to take some photos and some video stuff of the differences between this perfect grade and the Wing Zero perfect grade that I've built and have, and also the 160 Wing no grade that I have, which is basically just like a high grade. I want to show those off when this is completed, like the differences between those, and do maybe a video, but definitely at least a photo. Brown Lantern asked how my Easter was, and it was fine. I was raised Catholic. I don't practice right now. That's not my style at the moment, but it was a nice Sunday. Got some stuff done. I went to work, did my job, was happy about that. Had a comedy revelation, which I shared on Twitter tonight, but which I can always mention here, which is just my general belief and advice for cis white comedians that, hey, what if you didn't finish your one-person show? Maybe your one-person show doesn't need to be done. Maybe you could just, not do it. Do you maybe just have, one good monologue or maybe two good monologues, and you could just, polish those up and then go on Risk instead of, doing the thing and making the whole 30-minute show that you then try to get people to come see? Brown Lantern says, yeah, I meant more along the lines of Sunday in general. Yeah, yes. And also, I knew that you were not a Catholic, so you weren't practicing Catholic. Durman says, hey, Pat. Hey, Durman. Happy to have you here. Thanks for joining me today. Is this the wrong screw? That's the wrong side screw. Sometimes you do it. Sometimes I remember which screws need to go in what, and sometimes I don't. I have learned from this kit that if it's a black piece, you use a black screw, and if it's anything else, you use the silver screw. And I have learned that, and that has been helpful to figuring out what I need to do with these kits. So that's good, with this kit in particular, I should say. But yeah, happy to have you here, Durman. Happy to have everybody here, of course. But yeah, Sunday was good, and I did have that minor revelation, which is nothing new. But it is important to me as a person that does comedy and has done for a very long time that I am critical of myself when it comes to representation. And it's also just like a general thing where I worked for a very long time and still am working on a one-person show about being demi, because there is not a lot of information at all, even comedy, about demisexuals. Just not a thing that's out there. So, or if it is, it hasn't reached me, and, that's not to say it isn't out there, but I feel I'm not like, oh, I'm thinking, well, I could contribute something. But a 30-minute show, I don't think I need to do that. But I can do a 10-minute presentation. I can TED Talk it. I can do something fun and cool about the topic. Certainly, I have already in the past. I've also done a little talk about how it kind of spun off that. How it was I'm fine with demis being considered a subset of ace. We are in many ways. I'm fine with that personally. But the alphabet, the queer alphabet, Block Samurai's here. Hi, Block Samurai. But in general, how the queer alphabet needs to just get over itself and add furries to the conversation because we haven't yet, and it's high time that we do. Which is an opinion that I continue to hold. But it is also like a fun thing to talk about for audiences that are like, I don't know what's going on. What are you talking about? I'm still trying to figure out a lot of things about a lot of kinds of people, and you are now talking to me about furries? It's like, yeah, let's go. Let's talk about it. Uh, I think it's generally really interesting to start having those conversations because there are a lot of people that just like don't know anything about any of it. It's kind of fun. And also like last year it became really fun to talk about it because there was like a pop culture figure that you could talk about. Like being able to talk about Sonic Fox in the conversation of furries is awesome because furries got a high profile person that you can point at and be like, check out this motherfucker. Check out this dude doing his thing and being great at it. And then also being like out in two ways. Holy shit. That's awesome. Like, it's so nice to be able to say that when, like, before that, I've joked about this before, but it's true. Furries have, as far as mass media, public mass media consumption, prior to Sonic Fox, they have an episode of CSI about a furry convention where it turns out the murderer is not a furry, thank fucking God, and they have that, which is great. And Doug Benson has a joke about going to staying at a hotel, and that hotel also had a furry convention, and how the bar was awesome because it was all these people in costumes dancing, and how it was really nice, and they were all like, "Hey, let's get you badges. You can come and hang out." And Doug Benson does like a story about that, and that's it. That's all. And now they have Sonic Fox, and that fucking rules. Baldrige, I say demi as shorthand for demisexual. I am a demisexual. It is a fairly new thing in terms of description. Obviously, clearly not a fairly new thing in terms of identity for folks. It's just a good label that finally came out. Appeared, I should say. Basically, it is in the spectrum or in the world of asexuality. It is someone who, for most of their life or a lot of periods of their life, would just consider themselves to be asexual. Except sometimes they're not asexual. And that's weird. Why is it sometimes that they're not asexual? And it basically means that romantic life or intimacy doesn't come from merely or purely or in some cases at all sexual desire. I can appreciate people being attractive. I can understand why people will be into them. But if I don't know the person, if I'm not truly engaged with them, like emotionally or intellectually, I don't have an interest. Like, I've never been at a bar and saw someone and went like, "Oh, I'm taking that person home tonight." I have had plenty of times of going, "I'd love to see what's up with that person. That person seems cool and interesting. Maybe I will find out more about them," and then develop a crush over the period of many, many months or years. And that is demisexuality. It is new. It is not a thing that a lot of people have any knowledge of or and have dealt with. It also, when I talk about demisexuality, there is often a time where people have said to me, "Oh, I think that's me. I never felt like I was ace because I have sexual desires or interests and I've been in relationships," which also ace people can be. That's not to say they can't, but yeah, there are people that are just like through conversation have figured out something about themselves. Like myself. I for the longest time knew that that my interest in people generally was folks that I knew very well and had developed emotional connections to, and then suddenly I was attracted to them. Like, it'd be one of those things where I was like, oh, that person's very nice and cool, and now we're working on a project together and spending a lot of time together. Oh, and now I'm dreaming about them. That's new and weird, but it wouldn't be like it wouldn't happen otherwise. And that felt very childish to me. Like, you only get crushes on people that you like are in your homeroom. Like, it felt very like school, like childish. And it took a while for me to kind of figure that out. And then through conversation, a friend of mine said, "Well, you might be you might be demisexual." To which I was like, I don't think so. And then I went home and looked up what it was because I, for whatever reason, decided that I knew what that meant, but that I didn't know what that meant. So I went and looked it up and went, I guess I'm demisexual. Okay. Um, and, it's nice to know. I'll say this. For a lot of folks out there, the not knowing or the not understanding is really tough. It can be quite difficult. I am fine with it being something that is not, in the one hand, not super well known, but also on the other hand, I am totally fine with having something that is like kind of invisible. Like, if folks don't consider me to be queer, don't consider me to be in the alphabet or in the conversation, I get that. I am passing, and that is fine. I would never say that I am in the similar boat for a lot of people. A lot of folks have it way rougher than me. Worst case scenario, like, I'm alone until I'm with someone, and then I'm with them. And, like, a bunch of folks will continue to try to set me up on blind dates, where blind dates are not what I want, ever. It's like totally not what I'm looking for at all, in any capacity, in any way. This is not the right screw. Have you been streaming for 24 hours? No, I have not. I started streaming at 9 p.m. Eastern time. Gundam. I stream Monday, Thursday, and Saturday from 9 p.m. to 11 p.m. Eastern as a build streamer. I often do bonus streams where I play games and various other things on Wednesdays, including this Wednesday at 9 p.m. Eastern time, where I will be streaming with Jackbox and playing some Jackbox games. But yeah, the most I've ever streamed is 3.5 hours on New Year's Eve. We did games and chat and played a bunch of games and hung out on New Year's Eve this past year, and it was the longest stream I've ever done. My build streams, I never do more than 2 hours, because at a certain point, I'm just bad at it. Okay, yeah, so I started streaming at 8 p.m. your time, about 30-something minutes ago, 33 minutes ago, I believe I've been streaming. But yeah, I found that out, that with Lego streams, it's not the worst. I can kind of do Lego streams for a while, but with model kit building, I start getting not great at it. So, losing momentum, losing my abilities. And then also, unlike when you're gaming and you can always reference the gaming, I run out of things to say sometimes. Especially like on a Saturday, if I haven't really had anything going on. Usually by Thursday, things have happened in my life. Lego isn't hard to go extra hours on. Yeah, Durman. It's mostly just the conversation part. It's not the building part. Like, I can kind of follow along with Lego and not run into an issue. Yeah, it's mostly just being able to keep the conversation going. And it is a shame, because generally towards the end of my streams is when my numbers are at their highest, because part of it is like timing for folks, and I understand that 9 p.m. Eastern time is early for the West Coast. That's, it's 6 p.m. So I understand that that is not ideal for some folks. Uh, that a 6 to 8 p.m. stream isn't necessarily great. Uh, RG new Gundam hype, indeed. Got another real grade coming out there. Um, I don't mind a real grade. I mean, I've built a couple that have been, totally fine, and I built a few that have been kind of annoying. But I remember the real grade Exia being good. I like that. I like that build. Um, but as I've said, uh, the I think the master grade is my sweet spot as far as model kit building goes. That is where I am most happy, is the 1/100 master grade. Just for both in terms of just the size of the build and everything you can do with it, and then also, it's like it takes a few streams to build it. Which, when dinner and a Pat stream is a pretty good way to wind down a Monday. Well, Asmo, that's awesome to hear. I appreciate that very much. Thank you. Also, hi, Asmo. Happy to have you. Especially since those West Coasters are frequently waiting for the 9 o'clock local unlock of the latest new games. Yeah, see, I forget about that. See, a lot of folks that I know on this coast, they can't wait up because of, job commitments or whatever. Where is I? Where is I? There's I. They can't wait till midnight for a game to come out, and I forget that y'all get your games at a reasonable hour, which is pretty fun. One of the oldest PGs. I think the oldest PGs are underrated. The inner frame detail is beyond awesome. They were made to look like machines inside. I totally agree with you. Belmont. This is the 1999 kit. I'm not thrilled with the amount of screws. I've said this. There's a lot of screws, and it makes sense, but this is incredibly sturdy. All the components that open, that show you all the pieces. This feels like a kit. I know that the cockpit, the actual internal, is kind of open, which is interesting. But other than that, this is it feels a very dense model, and I do really appreciate that. I think, like I said, my biggest issue is, obviously, this is a 20-year-old kit. I have a PG MK2, says Belmont, in my closet too eventually, and that thing's inner frame is god tier. I've looked at that. This is only my second perfect grade I've ever built. I did the Wing Zero perfect grade, and that was a gorgeous kit. I mean, there's no way around it. That kit is unbelievably good and looks so nice. The wings were a nightmare. The feathers were a nightmare, but they've never made them easy to build anyway. So that's nothing new. But yeah, I totally can appreciate all the work we're doing here. This is why I really enjoy the full mechanics line for Iron Blooded Orphans. My ball or bale is. Ugh, I tweeted about this. I'm so annoyed. UPS was delivering it, and I have the thing where they send you a notification, and they're like, "Hey, this is going to need a signature." And I clicked the thing saying, "I authorize you to not need a signature. Just leave it on my front door. If no one answers the door, my landlord is home, so sure. Just that'll be fine. He's often home a lot during the day." And they were like, "Sure." And then they were like, "Actually, no. Instead, you have to go to one of the UPS pickup locations," which for me is not too far away, but is still just a random place I have to go to. So tomorrow I have to go and get it. And it's annoying. It's just annoying because it was so close to being in my apartment, and now it is not in my apartment. And I would like it to be in my apartment. Because I would like to, build it at some point, or just take ownership of it. Right now, you're tackling your first resin kit, branching out a bit. Ooh, yeah, the technology must be so light years away from the last time I did any sort of resin kit or garage kit or whatever you want to call it. Oh yeah, it's been a long time since I did anything close to that. Because I had, so for folks that haven't heard this, I got into model kit building. I mean, as a teen or young teen, like whatever, kid slash teen. I did papercraft and I did some kits, like some glue kits, like cars and stuff like that. Nothing extreme, but I did a few things here and there, and then didn't for a long time. And Are you gonna get the high resolution Wing Gundam? I don't know. I haven't really looked at it. I'm gonna look that up now as I talk about um, the high resolution Wing Zero. Ooh, that looks beautiful. Yeah, I mean that's something that'll probably end up on my wish list. I have built so much from Gundam Wing, and I love it very much. It looks gorgeous. Wow, that looks beautiful. Uh, Now I'm going to be coveting that. Anyway, so Gundam Wing came on. Speaking of Gundam Wing came on television, and I was like, oh, I like this a lot. Oh, I knew about Gundam, but I didn't know I liked it so much. Oh shit! So then I started buying model kits and started building model kits, and I did it for a long time. I would say I did it for like 5 years, probably pretty excessive. Went back, built master grades and high grades. Excuse me. Got into other Gundam shows. Belmont, I am the same. Where G Gundam was one of those things where I was like, it opened me up to the possibilities of what Gundam could be. Uh, and yeah, and then started watching fan subs of Gundam X, and started going back to some old shows that I had like seen clips of, but never was like I never went out of my way to be into it. Um, but it was something that I knew then was learning about. Um, and yeah, we went through all of the phases of that, and then uh, I just stopped building. I went through a phase where college, and didn't have the time or money or energy to buy kits, and even after that, I just kind of let it go for a really long time, and then uh, Austin Walker, then at GiantBomb.com, did a comedy video bit as if he had a Gunpla Club as like a YouTube series, and I was like, I would love to build with. I would love to do that. I would love to build with Austin. That would be so fun. And then I was like, I would love to build again. It's been a long time. I'm gonna cough. Pardon me. It's been a really long time. And then, in the shower one day, I came up with the name Build with Baer Workshop. And I was like, well, I guess that's my Twitch series where I build model kits. Hold on, I gotta cough for real, and I got this cough here. Hopefully that'll take care of it. Uh, Brown Lantern, he's top 10, certainly. I love Austin very much. And him just like doing that gag made me think about it. So, I think Seed, I've never seen Seed Destiny. I didn't love Gundam Seed. Um, I think I need to watch Turn A again. I think Turn A at the time I was just bored with and totally not interested in. And I think I need to give that a second try. Because I think now I would probably enjoy it more. But at the time, did not enjoy that series at all. Oh, pardon me. Sorry about that. Don't know where this cough came from. Seed was middle tier. It wasn't terrible, but it was meh. Destiny just flushed all that down the toilet. That sucks. The Turn A Gundam is the strongest Gundam. Yeah. Yeah, it's a tough one because like I don't know. I like a lot of shows, and there's plenty of Gundam stuff I haven't seen. Right, like there's some movies of the original timeline that I haven't seen. There's some series that I'm not familiar with. Um, like I'm not here to say that I'm an expert by any means. I'm certainly not. There are folks here in the chat that know more about Gundam and model kit building certainly than I do. Um, I just happen to choose this as the topic of things I like to do on a stream. Instead of just playing games, I want to do something else. I wanted to build. And also, now, because of this, I get to build model kits 3 times a week, 6 hours a week. I build Lego sets and Gundams and Dragon Ball action figure model kits, and it's fucking rad. And that's like my life. And that's a weird thing. And I love that. Um, the best Gunpla saga is Friends of the Table Season 2. I love that Brown Lantern. That's very funny. Um, we built a ball. We built a ball, the Master Grade ball, and it was such a fun, different kit to build. I love it so much. Uh, I love that. I mean, look, I'm a basic person in a lot of ways when it comes to stuff. My first Gundam, my first love, is still my favorite. I love the Death Scythe. I think the Death Scythe Hell Custom from Endless Waltz is my favorite of the three because I think it's just the wings are so cool. Um, and I just think it's a beautiful kit. And I love the Death Scythe. It is my absolute favorite. Um, uh, the ball is unbelievable, and I'm not here to tell you the ball is not rad as hell. Um, but yeah, the Death Scythe has always just been my favorite. As a classic Gundam, a mainstay Gundam. This Gundam is the main one. Baldrich, have a great night. Thanks for stopping in and hanging out. Uh, um, like that's my Gundam. That always has been. I mean, look, a main series Gundam. I like the Shining Gundam a lot. I think the Shining Gundam is a wonderful take on a classic. I think it just always looks rad. It is just a solid, great Gundam. I think the Shining Finger is just the best. Um, Tesla is amazing, I think. Worst Gundam suit. Huh. I mean, it's probably something from G, right? Because G swings very high, and the highs are very high, and the lows are very low. So it's probably the Windmill Gundam because that's just the dumbest bullshit and isn't even helpful. Like, it's not even helpful. Destiny Gundam? Okay, Destiny Gundam's pretty bad. I'll agree. I also think that like saying like a minor Gundam from G Gundam is probably not cool to say because it's not we're not supposed to take that seriously. But I do think that like you're going too far into your own country, your colony's identity. Uh, Gundam Alex is your least favorite. Okay, yeah. Trying to think. I think yeah, I mean, I like most Gundams. I think most Gundams are pretty great. Uh, I've said this that the Twilight Gundam is just boring. Not Twilight. And the Sandrock is boring. Um, I think the Sandrock Gundam has good weapons, but I think that's all it's got going for it. Look, the Sandrock Gundam would be complete and total bottom tier if you couldn't take the heat blades and stick them onto your shield. If you couldn't do that, that thing is below bottom tier. That saves the Sandrock. And also, it should be known and agreed upon that capes make everything better. So the fact that The Endless Waltz version has a cloak cape, does make it better than other kits. Uh, I am never going to argue against having a badass, awesome cloak. I think cloaks are awesome and great and always going to be appreciated by me. Yeah, I just don't. I mean, I just don't think I think the Sandrock is um, too much like the main Gundam. Like it's too much. To me, the Sandrock is that scientist was like, well, we did pretty good with the Wing Gundam. I think I'm just gonna put some swords on it and call it a day. Like it just feels like not that thoughtful. If capes make everything better, Sun Rising to hurry other ass up and animate Crossbone. Oh, the Crossbone. I mean, I just think capes are great. I think capes on a Gundam or a model kit is just a silly because it's just a weird choice. It's just a weird choice to be like this kit. Well, this kit is special because it has a cape. Uh, yeah, pirate robots in space. Damn right. Most destructive Gundam than Turn A. It's got to be GPO 2. I mean, look. Yeah, Belmont. I literally was about to say Wing Zero. That beam rifle is a colony destroyer. Also, let's not forget that the Devil Gundam is just fucking evil as shit. The Devil Gundam is no joke a nightmare. That's also a colony destroyer, really, and like terrifying. That thing scared me a lot. Comparing anything in G, okay, yeah, Belmont. You know what, Belmont? I do agree with you. I think that like saying, yeah, it's probably unfair to the weapon, the power creep in G is kind of off scale, and that's on purpose. Gundams are the most devastating thing. Man is the ultimate devastation, except for in G Gundam, where it's men inside of terrible machines. Um, Technically, even Windmill would stomp a regular robot. Yeah, I mean the Snake Gundam, all the different many silly Gundams. Noble Gundam. I mean the Unicorn Gundam for a horse. Best Gundam plot twist. Wow, there's so much legacy of Gundam, and there are so many plot twists. That's a rough one. Uh, uh, hmm. It's because the logic behind that mobile trace system, it's one reactor system, anything G by the logic would outreach any real robot. Yeah, I mean, it's basically like everyone is a new type, and everyone is using the zero system. Like, and then you add in the fact that some people have some sort of mystical ability beyond, which is maybe new type, but everyone's already a new type, and then there are people that are beyond new types, and then there's like also like if they could, one would assume that eventually they tested the Berserk system and like tried to like they didn't stop with one person with that Berserk system. They definitely were keeping to work on it. Uh, Best plot twist: my men are never gonna die in battle. Literally 1 minute later, all our soldiers die. Yeah, yeah. Um, that feels slower to me than all the different systems that just tap into neural impulses. Lastbrook, I can see what you're saying. The fact that your body movements, your brain impulses are pretty. So like the psycho system, the like putting people in their direct neural link system. It's probably more efficient because it's impulses, but um, by using martial artists, you are tapping into the potential of endurance and strength and facing adversity and going and pushing forward when you're dealing with when you got a martial artist as a Gundam pilot. I think you're getting a lot out of that situation that you wouldn't get otherwise. I can sense the new type argument, but they all just seem to use funnels. Yeah. What are funnels going to do? Yeah. That's the Iron Blood Orphan system too. Yeah, Lastbrook. Like, there are shows that kind of use that as well. That I think, to me, the sweet spot is having yourself hooked up to the thing, so your impulses, your eye movement maybe is kind of mapped to it. That's probably going to help you out quite a bit. But then also just having the ability to kind of pilot it, I think, with controls and a joystick also gives you that kind of like movement in it. I don't know. I think the sweet spot is like just being a capable pilot. I think, yeah, Amuro is the like new type. The Iron Blood IBO one is a good contender. Yes, like once you start fusing together and kind of dealing with all of that, like it is. That's what I liked about Wing and how Wing kind of dealt with the Zero system, which is only in two, which is basically like they built the Wing Zero and they were like, this is fucked. Nobody can pilot this shit. We goofed. We made this thing too good. So instead, they each, like the scientists went out and made their own, which is why the main guy made his, the Wing, which is, retroactively the sequel to the Wing Zero. But I like that. They're like, oh, this is fucked. This thing is like too good at being at this, so we should like we gotta put this aside for a while. And then of course the Epion kind of uses the same system. But I did like that. Like that Wing was like, here are a bunch of very good pilots, two of which can handle this shit. Nobody else can do this or should try. I like that. I now have Shining Finger in my head, which is not a bad thing to have in your head. If you're going to have a song in your head, I think Shining Finger is pretty good. I got a chance. I think it's the Vidar. I think the Vidar rules. I don't know, but yeah, like the Vidar is pretty great, pretty rad. We built the Trooper, the Kamaris Trooper, and really, I just like the colors. The colors are just, even in Gundam, just feel very unique and very rad. That was a fun kit to put together. That box is too big for the size of the kit you end up with, but that's my only complaint with that. It was pretty great. All right, so we're working on the legs here. We're going to take a break in a moment or two, in which case I will do my pause for the cause, where I tell you about how you can be a subscriber and all that. I will say right now, as I am slowly assembling all of this, I want to tell you, right now, hi. If you would like to play some Jackbox games with me, I'm doing that on Wednesday, 9 p.m. Eastern Time. That's 2 nights from tonight. I will be streaming 9 p.m. to 11 p.m. Maybe we'll go later. I don't know. We might go later on a Wednesday night. I haven't decided yet, but I am going to be doing some model kit building, or not. I'm not going to be doing some model kit building. I'll be doing some game streaming, and you can join me for that if you'd like on Wednesday. Yeah, you could do that, Lashbrook, if you wanted. I like playing games with chat. It's my monthly bonus game stream, which I need to rename. I think I'm just going to call it the Game Party. Um, Monthly bonus game stream made sense as a name when I only played games once a month, and now I basically once a week do a bonus stream where I'm playing some sort of games. So I think we're just going to call it the Game Party because we're going to be partying and playing some games. But that's this Wednesday, and you're more than welcome to join me, 9 p.m. Eastern Time. All right, so we're going to assemble this leg together in a moment or two. I'm going to snip clip this, figure out why this won't collapse. There we go. Well, yeah, we're gonna assemble all this leg together in just a moment. The barricade. Yes, please come to my barricade. You think Lupus is better than Lupus Rex? I really like the Lupus Rex. I don't know. It's been a little while since I looked at the Lupus. I think the Lupus Rex is pretty great. I don't know. They're both very good. Anyway, hi. First and foremost, if you you see my tweets or you stumbled upon this because you were searching for Gunpla, I do this Monday, Thursday, and Saturday, 9 p.m. to 11 p.m. Eastern Time. Model kit building, Lego, Gundams, bunch of different stuff. Consider giving me a follow so that you know when I'm streaming. And now, different ways that you can support me. Bits and cheers are always appreciated. I have the leaderboard. We just got Brown Lantern, who just cheered for 100. Thank you so much, Brown Lantern. Brown Lantern, not at the top of the pack, just pulled ahead of Harold and Road. I appreciate that very much. That's very nice of you for that. But yeah, throwing in bits and coins, subscribing. Consider subscribing. You could use your Twitch Prime coin. Well, a lot of people use that. You could use actual money. That is one way to do it. U.S. Gundam Store, you go to. Yeah, U.S. Gundam Store, Gundam Planet. I look at those. I mostly do Amazon because I have an Amazon wish list, and I'll just jump ahead and reference that, and then I'll go back to talking about Patreon after. But why not throw this in here? I have an Amazon wish list. I'm going to go to it right now because I added a couple things. This kit was bought off my wish list by Brown Lantern. Thank you, Brown Lantern. If you would like to see me build something on the stream, those always go ahead of my backlog. I do have a backlog. I just put the F91 version 2, the F91 1/100 Master Grade. We've never built that on stream, and it's a classic. So that's now on the wish list, along with I don't think someone's going to buy it, but I put it up there because it's kind of fun. I like the Dragon Ball Figure Rise kits. I like building those now and again. There's an Ultraman Type B model kit there. It's expensive, so I put that up there. I don't know. I got Lego sets. I got a bunch of stuff. If you buy something off that kit, I'll get it, and then I will build it for you. And it'll jump the line. It'll jump through the backlog. Speaking of backlog, my $10 Patreon supporters get to vote on what I build next or what I buy next. The high-res Wing Zero is going to go on that list. I am going to put that in my Amazon wish list. But I also have a Patreon, as I said. $1, $5, $10. Take a look. See if there's something that you think was good for you, because I really appreciate it. And then if you're supporting me through Twitch or watching my videos on YouTube or supporting me on Patreon or doing my coffee, which I'll put a link to in chat, all of that goes to directly supporting the stream, me buying model kits and equipment, the lights that I use for my green screen, the second webcam because I owned one. I bought a second one back in the day. This table, all the stuff that I have that I use for building and the model kits that I build. Because unlike a game stream, My friend Kate just played a bunch of PUBG the other day. Kate Stark, twitch.tv/Kate, fantastic streamer, wonderful. Kate has gotten a lot of money out of PUBG, a lot of time and effort and play out of it, right? I don't get that with model kits. I build them, and then maybe I could do a video where I like compare and contrast them and make a YouTube video out of that. But it's not like I take apart the kits and then build them again. Um, so I do my best to like uh, be able to build stuff that I think y'all like. So I see that there is the high resolution. Um, there is the 1/100 Wing Zero and the just the Wing, and both those are going to go on my wish list. And uh, if people want to buy them, I'll put them. Eventually, I will put them down with the expensive kits that are on my wish list, because I understand not everyone can make a huge purchase like that. I would love to build one of these, but I totally understand if I never do, and it's okay. Um, that's totally right. And I don't know. I'll put the high res Astray Red. We've built two different Astray Reds, so I'm not expecting that, but I'll put those in there because they're fun. Um, these are fun kits to build, and I look forward to doing them in the future. But like, also, you can just tell people about the streams. If you can't afford to become a subscriber, you don't want to use Patreon, um, telling people joining the Discord and hanging out in our Discord is fun. That's a good time. You could do that. And then, once again, Wednesday, 4/24, which is this Wednesday, 2 nights from now at 9 p.m. Eastern Time, it's Jackbox night. It is the party stream, gaming party stream. And I'm going to drink a little more water here before we start building. Yeah, if you have a friend that likes model kit building or chill streams or whatever, you could tell a friend. I'd love to build the number of people that watch. I love doing this, and I love having an excuse to do it. And I'm very grateful for the chat, and y'all are so cool and nice, and it is awesome to know that I've got a cool bunch of folks that are going to come and watch the streams and hang out. I mean, like, there are some, there's some shit people out there looking to make trouble and be jerks on stream, and I think last week there was a weirdo on the Hearthstone stream, but that is few and far between. In general, everyone is cool and nice, and we don't run into problems, and I'm very lucky about that. I'm very grateful for the chat, because as I said, I'm a bit of a broken record on this. Like, you can only say so much. That's why we talk about other things. That's why in the second hour I talk about anime, and I've got a few anime shows to talk to you about. So we'll put this on here, and then we'll. I gotta put this on. And this goes in and then down. Got it. Great. And we're gonna attempt to assemble all of this again. All these pieces have to get assembled. We'll start in the bottom and work our way up. I think that'll work out good. Yeah, bottom, work our way up. Okay, great. I'm rolling D&D characters to be used in a one-shot. I wouldn't call me a viewer. Cool. Gotta go see you. Have a great night, Gundam. Thanks for stopping in. Yeah, sometimes I've got listeners. And also, I say this a lot, but I do mean it. If you can't hang out in the chat and you just want to, like, veg out, you can't chat, I totally understand that too. I get it. If you're just listening every once in a while, you kind of look up and you just want to hear me chat about things, like, I get that too. I understand. It's all good and it's all appreciated, and I'm so happy to have you here. Speaking of anime, first show I'll talk about is oh, I should say this. I talked about it on um, Saturday, but I want to give an update on it. I won't go too much into detail because about what the show's about because I already talked about it, but it's got a bad name. But One Man's Grandchild. Wise Man's Grandchild. Um, Wise Man's Grandchild is now on Crunchyroll. It wasn't uh, previously, and now is. So I watched the first two episodes on Hulu. It's now, I believe, a Wednesday show, so it will be. You'll be able to watch it now. Like, they put the first two episodes up. I don't know why it's subbed on Hulu and subbed on Crunchyroll, but it is, which is great because I don't really enjoy watching things on Hulu. Because also oftentimes I have to switch to Firefox. So I'm happy to not watch it on there and instead watch just One Punch Man on there. So yeah, that is good. I'm glad that I don't have to watch this show there. That's it. Nothing really to say about that. It's a fine show. It comes out on Wednesdays. I'll talk about the next one on Thursday. One Piece. Very little new information. A lot of now still flashbacks. This is a bad time for One Piece. People like to throw a lot of shit at that show for just like the amount of filler and the amount of real slow shit that happens. To which I've not always agreed with. I think sometimes people are just being hyperbolic, but in this case, I will say almost no new information, and also some of the animation did look bad. Some of that animation looked real bad, and some of that art looked real bad. All right, so this came apart here. This little piece that goes in there. So I'm trying to fix this here. So I got to do a little bit of a repair job. Nothing hard. Yeah, so One Piece, not too great. Yatogame. Yatogame is still a very fun show. It's a 3.5-minute anime. Each episode, like I said, 3.5 minutes. Very cute show that I'm still really into. Introduction of another character. I think we're at least one more. It looks like from the ending song, and she seems fun. Yeah, I mean, only so much can happen in that short a time period, but I am liking the show, and I would recommend it, especially because it is fucking short. It is so goddamn short. So yeah, and then let's see, what else do I have to say? Oh yeah, Fruits Basket. I didn't have a chance to watch it by Saturday. It's still really good. It's still, I think, the best show this season that I'm watching. Which it's kind of a. I mean, there's a lot of shows. I would say that Fruits Basket and Senryu Girl are the best things out right now. Pretty much universal. I can't imagine anything that's better than Fruits Basket or Senryu Girl. I mean, there's, people like the stuff they like, and I'm not trying to take it away from them, but those are the shows that are appealing to me anyway. Those are my shows. And I think that's it. Other than we'll talk about Gundam Build Fighters. I watched episodes 3 and 4 of Gundam Build Fighters because I never saw it, and now I am attempting to watch it. I'm still liking it. It's not like I watched the 2 episodes that I hadn't seen, and I didn't go out and I didn't watch more. I like it. I think it's a fun show. I mean, it's a kid's show, and I think it's fine. It's not like grabbing me some of the touches of classic characters, like this version of some classic characters, is pretty neat. I think that's pretty cool. So I'm into that. But overall, it's like good. It's like, yeah, this is a good show. Okay, more. Let's keep watching. Like, it's not drawing me in like I thought it might. Um, I'm not gonna watch more of it when I'm done tonight. Probably. I mean, I might, but I don't have plans to watch more of it tonight. And usually, when I'm binging a show where there's a lot of episodes, you can't stop me from watching them. So, I'm gonna give it more time and see if my interest increases or not. But yeah, that's kind of where I'm at as far as that show goes. And then, yeah, for Thursday, of course, I'll talk about the stuff that's coming out that I've seen since Thursday. Thursday's a good day to chat about anime. There's a bunch of stuff I really like. Like I'm excited tomorrow for more One Punch Man, even though the animation is not great. I really like some of the characters, and we're getting closer to Metal Bat showing up. I said that before. I really like Metal Bat as a character, so I'm looking forward to seeing him in the show. But yeah, there's some characters I really enjoy in the show, even though I think that right now it is not living up to its potential as far as a kick-ass show like the first season. It happens. Yeah, and even though it's a bad name, Wise Man's Grandchild, I think I said this today. It is an isekai. It is only going to be so good. I described it, and then someone was like, "Oh, I thought you were talking about another show," and I was like, "Yeah, it's by the books, right? You've got yourself a kid or adult. He dies. He shows up in a magical world, reborn. He retains some of the memories he had. He learns about magic and is immediately really good at it. And because he is from another world and his mind is full of creative knowledge and knowledge of fantasy worlds and such, he is very good at magic. And then also, like, a really good martial artist teaches him martial arts, so he's a very good fighter as well. So he's kind of got it all. He's an OP MC. And then he shows up to a magical academy, immediately helps out a young lady who is infatuated with him. There's two young ladies, one who's clearly into him, one who likes him well enough, but isn't like in love with him yet. And then there's a cast of characters that are fun, and there's always a couple background characters that you're like, more of that character. And you don't get more of that character, but you want it. It is very by the numbers. The biggest, like, come to fuck on is that there's, like, a bureaucratic, or, like, there's a rich kid who gets everything he wants is being one-upped by this, like, small-town yokel who doesn't know anything, and he's just getting madder and madder, and it's very clear that he's going to become, because apparently, like, all magic, anyone that possesses magic can become demonic, and it's rare for humans to become demon, but it happens, and those are very dangerous, obviously. So, obviously, this rich, annoying magic user is going to become a demon, and like that'll be the big bad. Urban Buddha, hi Urban Buddha. Derman says that's Mr. Anime Mary Sue to you. I know, right? Yeah, overpowered MCs. We never call Mary Sue's, but they certainly are. We just call it wish fulfillment. But that's definitely what they are. All right, so it's time to build. We already did on the one leg. To finish our leg, we've got to do another one of these hoops here. So we got screws. We're going to put some pegs in. I think this is an extra T2 or a T4. Yeah, it's a T2. because we need 9 of them. Yeah. So we end with get a bunch of these. We end with a T4. Put this aside for a second so we can build this. No, Naruto and Bruta, we were talking about, well, Asmo is rolling D&D characters for a campaign, a one-shot campaign, and so he's just listening along. Work-related team-building thing, that's fun. Yeah, we weren't really super talking about D&D, but, yeah, that's what Asmo's doing, and I was talking about that while I was talking about anime. But yeah, in general, for the most part, it's like I like a show with an overpowered MC. I was talking about that with uh, uh, Demon Slayer, how this character is not overpowered. He's just trying really hard and kind of failing at it, and how that's interesting because you don't often get that on these shows. All right, so I need 9 of these. So I don't want to overdo it. So we got to do, and we'll I'll clean these up, but we need 9, and we've got 5 so far. So 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. We need 9 of these. Oops, dropped 1. Found it. So we need 9 of these, 1 of these, and then P27 and P51. Started Demon Slayer, pretty cool. Also Overlord. Oh yeah, I mean Overlord season 1, I have a great affection for. I think its world building is really interesting. I think the idea of NPCs that become real people, like real, that are like artificial intelligence that were designed to be like, user created NPCs that now suddenly have agency, is an interesting idea. I think the spell stuff is pretty cool in Overlord. I think season 2 has like really the first episode of season 2 is great, and then it's a long slog. Or is it halfway through season 2? I don't know. Season 2 and 3 kind of blend together in one big like. Meh. It's a shame because I really like that show a lot, but in general, I think it's this weird thing where there's part of one of the seasons, and I've talked about this, you just start rooting for characters you know are going to fucking die. And they do that a couple times where you're like, we know very well that these characters are not going to last too long, and we should not get attached to them, but we're going to dedicate a bunch of episodes to them. Fuck. Alright, so that goes in here. That's no spoiler. That's like, it's obvious. I'm not going to say what characters, but it's obvious that there are a bunch of characters that are just going to fucking die on that show. Alright, so we are now going to put 9 of these on here. And then, as I said with the last one, working with this spring, which I'll try to do it on. Oh, come on. Working with this spring, you have to kind of stretch it out to get all the pieces in. And then as you're stretching it out, make sure that you have even more slack to continue it. And you just start by kind of screwing the screw into the spring, but you don't have to go too far with it. Just enough. This screw is really just to stop things from falling out, and then also eventually will go into the leg. So just go in the top up here. I'm going to clean these up a little bit. It's such a strange thing to be like, we've done this leg, and that's been most of this stream. So like an hour and a half of streaming time was me building one perfect grade leg. That just goes to show like how much it takes to do this stuff. To do something the 1/60 scale and the amount of detail it has with it, right? Like when you think about a high grade, even a 1/100 scale high grade, like The leg, the foot is 4 pieces, 5 pieces. The leg, maybe, you do the leg part, that's 2 things and a couple rubber pieces, and then you're screwing it in. Or not screwing in, you're snapping it together, you work on the knee, and then you're done. Alright. So then we got to do this. And we're just sliding them in. Let's see. I didn't mention it before, but this is a weird thing. So I'm applying to a lot of stuff online, just doing my thing, seeing what's up, kind of getting things together. And I had like a long list of things that people were like, hey, here's a thing. People have been very helpful. I really appreciate that. People were like, hey, here's a job listing. Here's a thing. My company's doing this. My company's doing that. So I'm going through the list and kind of like, I'm not an autopilot, but I'm like, am I right for this? Yes, I'll apply for it. Could I be right for this? Yes, see what's up. Not right for this job. Let me check their website, see if there's something I am right for. Oh, I'm right for this. Okay, apply for it. Going through all that. And then at the bottom of my list from like a couple days ago, it just said Cameo ? And I was like, well, I'm verified on Twitter. I have like under 7,000, but kind of near 7,000 followers on Twitter. I don't really have much of a Twitch presence, but I have some people that watch me on Twitch. I'm like, maybe I could do Cameo. And if you haven't been to Cameo, it's like celebrities or internet personalities or whoever the fuck set a price for you that you can pay, and then they will like do a quick video. And you can write a script for them or just be like, wish Don a happy birthday. And then you get a video of whoever, like Ice-T being like, hey, Don, happy birthday. Your cousin Mark paid for this shit. Congratulations. Or whatever. And I was like, I guess I kind of sign up for this. Like, I don't necessarily think that people were going to spend money. Like, I don't even know what price I would set on it. It would probably be like $7 or something. But I'm like, I don't know. I got my phone all the time. I got time. I'm invested. Maybe someone would want that. So, like, I don't know. I applied to be a talent on Cameo, and I'll let you know if that goes through. I think that's very funny. Who knows? I was like, whatever. There's some people on there. First of all, there's some people on there that are not charging a lot of money at all. So you should look on Cameo and see how long their response time is. Because some of them, they're probably low because they don't do it that often. Some people are ridiculously high. And forget that. But like, if you want WWE superstar Mojo Rawley to send a message, that will cost you $69. Nice. But there are a few people, I can't remember, I'm going to look it up. There are a few people on Cameo that are like nothing. Let's see. I'm sure Snoop Dogg is a lot. Yeah, like, yeah, some of the people are just like, I don't know who this is. But, someone might know them. Hannibal. Yeah. There's a bunch of people. I think it's very funny to be like, okay, it cost you $29 to have Perez Hilton say something. That's not a lot of money. Chumlee from Pawn Stars is $65. Chumlee charges more than Perez Hilton. I'm going to look up what Chumlee's response time is. Because it tells you. Typically responds within 2 days, 4.9 stars. Perez Hilton has 5 stars. Typically responds within 6 hours. That's this is all of this is nonsense. It's a wonderful bunch of nonsense. Uh, so yeah, I submitted. Riff Raff is $75. Ernie Hudson is $80. I'm gonna remember that. Ernie Hudson typically responds within 8 hours. Uh, Having a Ghostbuster sounds pretty good. Apparently he's not in jail, Lasbrook. I don't know. Or he is, and he hasn't updated his site. Like I said, I don't know if I'm going to get approved for that. It's nonsense. My buddy Murph was approved, but he was on a national television show. So that's a different credit than me, who's done some television. Guest spots on some television. All right, so is it the wrong screw? I don't think it's the wrong screw. But this is not popping in like it should. So let's see. All right, that went in. That went in. Great, we did it. We're done with 2 legs. Look at our legs. Our legs are done. But yeah. Look, I don't know. I'm not saying I'm definitely gonna get approved for that, or if it makes any sense for me to be on it. But I thought it was pretty funny that I was like, all right, I will submit for Cameo. Who knows? If I can make a little money on my cell phone, I'll make a little money on my cell phone. You know what I mean? You know what I mean. All right, so now we got to build. We're working on our chest. We've now moved on to the body assembly, which is the chest pieces. So we'll move the legs across. We will do another one of these. We'll do the last one of these, which is the chest hose. But we have to build some of this up first. So let's see. We need some C. We're working on C right now. So I'll dig out C. This is C. Black pieces from that. But yeah, we're working on, we got our cockpit here. We got our chair. Put our chair together here. Goes there. And then, oop, there's a tiny screw later, but not right now. So that's good. C4. Oh yeah, so now we're building the cockpit. If there's anything you want to chat about in these last, I don't know, 20 to 25 minutes of the stream, if there's something on your mind, something you want to hear from me about, feel free. If there's something you're looking forward to this week, yeah. If there's something you're interested in doing this week, let me know. I looked, and apparently Ernie is guest starring on Arrow. Ooh, good for Ernie Hudson, and good for Arrow. But yeah, I'm happy for him. That's rad. It's just very funny to think about Ernie Hudson like just being like, yeah, I won't endorse a product, but I will, do personal messages. It's like, okay, that sounds good. Durman asked for my thoughts on the PS5. Well, the information they're putting out there, that audio thing sounds kind of intriguing. I'd like to learn more about this audio and what they're trying to do with it. Not so much for me, but for people I know that really care about audio stuff. It seems pretty interesting. That to me was the thing I was the most interested in hearing about. Hey, getting rid of load times because of your weird SSD technology does sound awesome. The idea that, you don't need to have loading. You can really go and find the things, and you don't have to deal with some of the problems they're dealing with in modern game design. That sounds rad. That sounds very interesting and could be awesome for people. Um, I don't know. The SSD stuff, yeah. Aristofan, hi, Aristofan. Um, I agree with you. It does sound great. And then I hope that other people are working on either similar technologies or steal the idea to put it in their thing, so it's not, you know, so other people can benefit from it. Um, but yeah, I mean, I didn't read through and backwards, yeah, compatibility. That's very good. I think people are not. I don't know if consumers are like. I think people are ready for exciting things. They're always looking for excitement, obviously, but like, what percentage of PlayStation 4 users are like, I can't wait to throw away this fucking PS4 and get myself a PS5? Maybe if you didn't get a Pro, maybe if you didn't get a PS, and you're like, you got a launch 4 and you're like, yeah, it's time. I'm excited. But I don't know. I mean, I don't know. I literally don't know. I don't know who's excited about what and what, the new consoles are going to bring. Um, I'm going to trade in my 4 for a 5. Yeah. I've got too many games in the backlog to think about a PS5 right now. Yeah. I mean, honestly, it comes down to like a game, right? There will be a game that I really want to play on it, and if that happens, then I'll get it. I mean, honestly, I've been thinking about, well, when the 5 comes out, maybe I can get a 4 with PSVR for cheap, and then I can play some PSVR games that I've been eyeing on the PS4. Like, honestly, that's what I'm more interested in is, well, maybe this console will be cheap enough for me to get one. Because I don't have I borrowed, when I've needed it, I borrowed it. So, and the friend I borrowed it from is less and less in New York, but used to keep their gaming consoles. He used to keep his gaming consoles in New York, and then I would just, like, borrow them. And I have not done that particularly as much because he has not been living in New York for me to do that, which is annoying. It's like, come on, dude. Fucking let me borrow your console. Maybe someday I'll get back into Persona 5 and want to finish it. Probably not. F1. This is a big oh man, this is so big. I mean, this is like the frame of the body, right? We're building the part that's like the shoulder here, but fuck. Look at the size of this piece of plastic. This is going to go in here? Dang. This is some serious shit. Alright, so that goes on there. There will be some tiny screws screwing things in. I am going to go look at, as I said, I have some reference photos, but I didn't pull up the body because I didn't know we'd get to that. So I'm going to grab some reference photo of all the parts I need. Take a look at that. See about the screws that I'm using for this kit. So, oops. Just gotta scroll up. Looks like I'm using, yeah, that's going to be those. Alright, so looking at this, I'm going to need my big spring here. This is the last spring, so I know it's the right one because it's the big one. And I'll just minimize that. But yeah, next gen stuff is mostly like, I'm excited about it in theory because my friends get excited about it, right? Because game developers can start talking about the next game they're making because it's for that console. So they can finally start talking about the thing they're very excited about. Like, I'm happy for all of that, but I'm not like, oh yeah, it is time. It's time. Like, I'm not that excited about that shit. Sorry. Alright, so now we need a screw, and I think it's a silver one, and I think it's a big silver, so we'll take a look at that. We're getting close to being done with screws, I think. There's a couple other ones here, but so we got to screw this in. But yeah. Also, like, I'm not thinking about making giant purchases because I am, working on trying to get gainful full-time employment. So, like, I'm not thinking about buying video game consoles right now. All right, so let's do T3 times 2 is here. All right. That goes in like this. This goes in like this. I'm now looking at my reference photo. All right, yeah, okay. You can kind of see that there. All right. Okay. So this goes in like this. And then 9 T2s. 3 and 6 and 7, 8, and 9. Put those there. Face that way, and then 9 more facing the other way. Oh, now I need a T4 one. Wait. Okay. So this goes on here next. Alright, I'm figuring this out. We're figuring this out, folks. Don't you dare be sour. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Go on there. It's 9. That's a T4. Then a T. Then 2 T3s. 2. Alright, that's the end of T. Now we'll just go through slowly putting this all together, and what we'll do is we'll take the other F and then kind of like just put it in there for temporary sake. Because this will have to go to a large screw, small. There we go. This will go into that. Oops. Like that. All right. So is there a tiny char in this kit and easy posable? No, Ultron. Unfortunately, there's not a posable char, but there is indeed char. He's right there. You can see him right here. Got a little pilot, little friend that's going to sit in the cockpit, and there's a hole in the cockpit for him. But that is it. Nothing really that stands out about it. There he is. Yeah, there he is. He is there. You might get MK11 tomorrow. Oh yeah, enjoy Durman if that's your thing. As I said at the top of the stream, I'm not super into fighting games. I do play them. I mean, I have, last year it made my top 10. Um, I really enjoy Dragon Ball, Fighters Z, but that's because I really like Dragon Ball. It's the reason why I played it and really enjoyed it. I had fun with it, and then also was like my friend group was interested enough in it that we went for it. But I wouldn't be surprised if that's the last one that we really like. All right, so this goes on here. Then we need to do these facing the other way. These got to go to other way. So that's where the bottom of this is. Neat. Gonna have to stretch this out to get these all in. Gotta go the other way. I like playing them occasionally. NMK is a cool story mode. I've heard that term, man. I mean, for me, it's like that's a thing I'm gonna watch. I'm not gonna buy the PC port of it or the PC version. I'm gonna watch a bunch of people play it. I'm gonna watch some Twitch streams. I'm gonna watch some YouTube videos. I'm gonna watch some clips. I'll watch some of the whatever. But I'm not like I'm not here to like buy that. I mean, also can't. I'm not spending money on full-fledged like full $60 games right now. That's just not happening. This is not in the cards for me. In the future, that'll be in the cards, but right now it is not. All right, let me put this on here. I'm going to read the fan fiction and the tweets. Yes, John, that is a way to go. Certainly, ain't nothing wrong with that. Oh no! Oh no! Oh no! God damn it! I got close to it. I can't tell. I never could tell if M4 was actually different looking, but whatever. I'm fine with it. I think it is. I think it is slightly different. I knew this was all going to come out because you got to be really careful with this. Got to have a lot of spring left when you're doing this. So I know that's at least at the end. Whatever. It's not perfect, it's got character, right? That's how the saying goes. But yeah, this will probably be the end of the stream. The next couple of minutes will be me finishing this up, and then I will start assembling the rest of this, because there's pieces that have to go in and things I have to cut out and all this stuff. Basically what I'll do is I'll just finish this off and then put a screw in to keep it in place, and then I'll finish this part. Ultron. Oh, it fucking sucks. Ultron says, I just got an email saying my Ubisoft account just got hacked. Oh, I'm so sorry, buddy. That fucking sucks ass. Hopefully it doesn't fucking affect cards you've got on file or anything like that, and you can get it taken care of. But my apologies, my condolences, I should say, not apologies. I'm not apologizing for it because I didn't do it. But my condolences. That sucks ass. Yeah, that's just awful. Never bought anything on it, thankfully. Oh, that's good. Okay, well, Ultron, that's awesome. I'm glad. But, you could have had some money tied up in it, and that would have been rough as hell. So I'm glad you didn't have anything in there. Although, I shouldn't have to say that because it should just be something that, like, you don't fucking have to deal with. Alright, so put this on here. And then we just have to take the spring here and screw it on down to keep it in place. Oh, yeah, John, that was such a long time of PSN being down. It was like, it felt like forever. Really rough. It was very, very bad for a lot of people. I mean, people had games come out. like people had like games that launched that you're just like, well, don't buy the PlayStation version because you can't play with people. Oh, it was really rough. Okay, so we combine that. Basically, this will snap in to here. And then this is what this is going to do is it's going to wrap around, and then there'll be a piece in the middle, and then it will separate where these are together like this, and look pretty cool. But it can't snap all the way together. I'm just going to kind of feed it there because I've got other pieces that have to go in there, and I got to screw some stuff in. Put it on a platform, do a bunch of shit to it, get it ready to go. But that's like part of what it'll look like. We're building the cockpit. We're working on the body. It's exciting. Rig, indeed. Oh, I'm glad, Belmont. I'm glad you got some work done. I think I'm going to wrap it up there. You know what? I'll do one more thing just to clear the sheet. Let's put Char in there. We're going to put Char in this Zaku 2 because it's his Zaku 2. And that'll be the last thing we do. And then I will be good. Once again, on Wednesday, 9 p.m. Eastern Time, you can come hang out with me, play some Jackbox games. That's happening on Wednesday, 9 p.m. And then I'll be back on Thursday at 9 p.m. Eastern Time with my normal build stream. There's Char hanging out in his house, in his cockpit. We're getting a lot done. We've got a ways to go, but like we are well, the body and the skirt, like, and the weapons. I don't know if we'll finish on Thursday, but we're gonna get close on Thursday. So I'm gonna put a poll up this week for my $10 Patreon supporters about what kit I should build next after this, as we're coming in the stretch. Like I said, I expect to finish up by Saturday, so this week we will finish up. But thanks for hanging out. Thank you for joining me for this stream. I'll see you on Thursday. Hopefully I'll see some of you on Wednesday for some Jackbox. Have a great rest of your Monday night, or the start of your Monday night for those of you on the West Coast. Those watching on YouTube, thank you for watching on YouTube. It's so nice. And I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.